Boom, baby.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Two Dumb Yinzers. This is episode 241. You know why that's special, Mike? 241?
Oh God, why?
Because it is halfway. It's halfway to 482. That is not so special. However, in about 9 more shows, we will be at 250, which will put us halfway to 500, and that is special. So we're working there. We're working on it, Mike. We got eight shows after today. We'll be at
Yeah,
250 shows. 250 shows.
that's wild. That
It,
is. It's a lot of shows.
it is a lot of
That's a
shows.
lot of Mike. That
I
might be
think
too much Mike.
that is a lot of Mike. And if you notice my name at the bottom of the screen today, I am not. Take a look, everybody. I am not Madonna. Madonna, as everybody's seen, or most people seen the other night at the Grammys, is now a gargoyle. Did you happen to see her, Mike?
I saw a picture and I was like, someone said, "Oh, I can't believe Madonna did this to herself." Or we live in a society where people think they have to do this to themselves. Like, there's no way that's Madonna. I thought that was like,
Right?
I thought it was, oh my God, what's her name? From 51st Dates. Oh, what's her name? She was in E.T.
Oh, that Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. I thought it was like Drew Barrymore in makeup for a movie where she plays like some weird character, like some creepy old lady. I'm like, this is kind of cool. We're going into like a new stage of Drew Barrymore's career where she's playing the old woman, the old creepy lady. Then I was like, oh, that's Madonna.
Madonna is definitely the old creepy lady, Mike. I can't believe. And the thing was, I mean, she wasn't a bad looking woman, even getting into her older ages. She
Yeah.
still wasn't, terrible looking. What she did to herself, I don't even know what you call that. And I don't know the
That's a lot of,
backstory. I don't know that. I mean, did she have fucked up surgery?
I think that's what it had to have been. It had to have been some messed up plastic surgery.
And how could it have gotten that bad? She looks like I know who I'm thinking, but I don't know if I could describe it to you. But it was a character. It was one of the Muppets, and this Muppet actually looked exactly like the way Madonna looks right now. And like I said, if you're not seeing the picture or know who I'm talking about, it's kind of hard to figure it out. But once you've seen the picture, you would say that it's a splitting image. I
I think
can't.
I know who you are. I think I know which Muppet you're talking about. The Muppet Blonde.
Yeah, she wasn't real popular or anything. She was on every once in a while, but she had that look. Think of Madonna. That's what she looked like.
Hold on, hold on. See if I can get this picture up. Okay, there's that.
And like I said, even if I mean, somebody fucked up, how could you fuck up that bad? I mean, her whole head.
This right here, is this what we're talking about? This
Yes,
Muppet right here?
yes, that is exactly what Madonna looks like right now. So if anybody is watching the show that hasn't seen Madonna since she made her grand appearance on the Grammy Sunday night, that in fact is what Madonna looks like. Matter of fact, I thought that was Madonna when Mike put it up on the screen, but that was not Madonna. That was a
Oh,
puppet. Mike, it's freaky. I think that I can't imagine anyone would want to make themselves look that way. On top of being a woman, for one, because women generally care about their looks a lot more than guys do, and
mhm.
being famous and being known, and now all of a sudden you're a troll. You know what I mean? Something bad had to happen, and if something bad had to happen, you think that she would be coming down on these people, monetarily somehow, saying, "What? Look what you did to my
Yeah,
head."
you would think, you would hope, but my God, I can't believe she did that to herself.
I've never seen anything like that. It's unhuman. It's almost
It is.
like a gargoyle, a demon, something from another, like on the Ghostbusters. Remember those two things, those two big dogs that ran around and chased everyone? It was in Rick Moranis's closet.
Yes.
So, comparable to one of those.
Oh man, that's bad. That's
It's
bad.
it's, it's real bad.
It is too.
I I feel bad. I don't feel bad for famous people. It's just because they have everything, the rich people. But I really feel bad for her head. Her head is fucked up, man.
feel bad for her head.
I do.
Let's see if I can pull up the picture.
Mm. This is like something I never see. I was shocked. And you know how Hollywood, they can't shock you anymore. You've seen it all. When
Hmm.
Lady Gaga shows up in a meat outfit, or or when Will Smith was slapping somebody at the awards. You expect the weirdest stuff from these people. Mike, this by far, whether it be intentional or not intentional, is by far the weirdest thing that I've seen a celebrity do with themselves.
Yeah, I have it right here. I feel bad. I had to click on the the New York Post. I don't know what's scarier, the New York
There
Post
you
or
go,
Madonna's
everybody.
picture right now, because that does not look like the Madonna I know.
Now take a look. See, let's take a look at her face. I mean, what's up with the eyebrows? I mean, you've already done
Yeah,
fucked up. Tell me she does not look like that Muppet that you just had up on the screen. Like,
she does. She looks like blonde.
yeah. And
Yeah.
and that one don't even look half bad. I seen pictures
No,
where she looked like 10 times
the
worse.
front views not bad. The side view was the worst. I was like,
Yeah.
that's when I thought it was the Drew Barrymore character. I feel bad. Like she thought, like in her mind, she had to do this to herself.
There she is somewhere right now as we speak with that head.
Yeah, I just can't believe she did that to herself.
But that's one thing about being rich. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I
I don't know.
mean,
You figure that, like you said, like women in the entertainment industry, they're always, they have to look young, can't have a wrinkle. You have a wrinkle, then boom, they're gonna fire you.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's rough.
She just skipped all the processes right to getting fired. A couple other things, Mike, before we start on to the important things of the world. The commercial for, and you brought this up about, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. It's been on commercials a lot lately. The movie coming out, Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear.
You had casually said this is something that you want to see. Now that I've seen the previews, Mike, I think that it's a definite must see. Cocaine Bear looks like it might be the best movie ever made.
I think it is going to be the best movie ever made.
I think the only thing that could have made this movie better is if Madonna with her big ass head showed up on that movie somewhere. I just like I have to see more of her. I got to see. And the thing about being rich and famous, you don't ever really have to leave the house. You have people do your stuff for you. You have assistants, secretaries, things like that. And believe me, if I had that issue, I would never, ever, ever, ever leave the house. But wouldn't you like to see her fighting the cocaine bear?
Be the main villain for the Cocaine Bear. The Cocaine Bear's the hero.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I just can't believe they're making a movie for the Cocaine Bear. Like, it's one of those weird stories that popped up on the internet like years ago.
Yeah.
People found like the picture of like the stuffed bear, like in the 80s, it ate all this cocaine and then died. And the meme was like, what the meme said, like for like a 5-minute window was the highest apex predator on the planet until its heart exploded. Wow. So I just want to see this movie. I just want to see a coked out bear going crazy trying to kill everyone.
I do too. Another thing, Mike, from the Grammys the other night, conspiracy theorists are back at it. Miley Cyrus in one of the latest conspiracy theories, Mike. Do you recall the little girl that got murdered in the 90s, JonBenet Ramsey?
Yes.
Now the nuts are out saying that, in fact, it wasn't Miley Cyrus, but it was Katy Perry. A lot of people are saying that JonBenet Ramsey is Katy Perry.
What?
Yeah.
Do these people know Katy Perry is British? She's British, right?
I don't have any idea.
I think she is.
I know about as much about her as I know about JonBenet Ramsey, to be honest with you.
Oh no, wait, no, she is American. Why did I think she was British?
I don't know.
I've never heard her talk. That might be why.
Yeah, but people think that she's JonBenet, like the I don't know, the cultists maybe kidnapped her and probably did a lot of things with her body and stuff like that. And then now that she's older, I don't know. I don't know the conspiracy theory, Mike, but I thought that was a bit strange. Where you make the connection between Katy Perry and JonBenet Ramsey, I'll never know. Finally, tomorrow night.
I don't get it. I'm looking at it now. Like,
people say anything.
It's wild. That is so. I love it. I love it. I hate conspiracy theories, but this one right here, I might dig into this one and just like say it's true and just run with it. I'll be that guy. I'll carry the torch for this one.
Be that guy.
I'll be that guy with my bad lighting that's going on right now that I cannot fix and it's pissing me off.
Yeah, it don't look terrible. What's up in the corner? Is that a heater? A vent? What's going on up in your
corner?
Yeah.
That's the it's for my it's a curtain rod.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, like I'm sitting in a corner of two walls because I have like windows to
That
both sides
I
of
can
me.
see that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
very, yeah.
yeah. I don't have like a just a wall to like stand behind and put stuff behind me. I got like two corners I have to play with.
No, you're right.
I don't like it. I don't like
Finally, Mike, the the brand new episode of Beavis and Butthead, all new tomorrow at 10:30. That's Wednesday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I can't wait to watch it. Mike will be tied up at the moment. I am probably going to dub it so that way I have it here. But Mike, Beavis and Butthead, they're back, baby.
I you can't get wrong with Beavis and Butthead.
No.
Like anyone who doesn't like Beavis and Butthead, I don't trust you. I just do not trust you. If if you don't like Beavis and Butthead, you're not trustworthy people. Because that
No,
means you have like no sense of humor.
that's true. Mike, big stuff, big stuff, big stuff. We got a lot of big things going on here today. Of course, you got big hockey game back in town tonight. You got the big pit game tonight. But I want to start, Mike, with what I think is probably one of the bigger stories of the whole entire week, maybe month, perhaps year.
Mm-hmm.
Move over Wayne Gretzky. 51-year-old Jaromir Jagr scores his 1,099th goal is in the professional circuit.
I saw that.
Now, Mr. Gretzky was his record was 1,098. Obviously, a lot, a chunk of these points that Jaromir Jagr has didn't come in the NHL, but it is on the professional level. Down, Mike. I mean, is he the all or are you always going to have some kind of asterisk because he's playing in Clado now on that Clado team in Prague? He has 11 points in 19 games. Do these just not exist in? Do we only go by NHL? Is he the all-time leading goal scorer? What's the deal, Mike?
I'm gonna, what I think like the level of competition that Jagr has played in, because he played sometime in the KHL and he's played over in Kladno,
Yeah,
in the Czech league. I might be the talent level may be comparable to the NHL in the 1980s.
Okay.
When Gretzky was putting up all those numbers. So yeah, I am gonna go with Jaromir Jagr as the all-time points leader.
I like it
in hockey history. I am going with it. I'm going with it.
I dig
because I have a feeling now, like if you would put like some of these teams from these elite teams outside of the US from these foreign countries and you transport them back into the 1980s, they would dominate.
Yeah.
Gretzky's numbers would be destroyed. Like if you put Crosby, hell, put Ovechkin on that on that Edmonton team. Well, imagine like Gretzky, or I'm sorry, like Lemieux or Ovi on those 80s Edmonton Oilers teams, where the record would be. It would be through the roof. So yeah, I'm going with Jaromir Jagr, the all-time points leader in hockey history.
You have to. I mean, nobody.
I'm going with it. I am going with it. Not just because he played for the Penguins, not because he's one of my all-time favorite players, but because the record is the record.
I agree. I'm cool with going with it. However, if there was an unbiased decision made, now hear me out. Somebody that didn't want to keep Gretzky at top, somebody that wasn't worried about Jagr taking over the record, somebody that was totally unbiased, they came out and said this is going to be the way that it is. But since we're only going by NHL, I would accept it. I would accept it. However, in the grand scheme of things, Mike, he scored more than anybody goals, and until somebody comes out and officially says that his goals don't add up for this particular reason, and again, it has to be an unbiased reason.
Yeah,
it can't be anybody backing Gretzky or whatever. I would accept it, but until then, you can't tell me different. Jaromir Jagr is the all-time scoring leader, Mike.
I am taking it, and if that makes me sound like a homer, I will. I am a homer, and you know me, I'm not the biggest homer around.
Yeah.
Only when it comes to my hockey. So yeah, I may be a little biased, but yeah, I'm going with Jaromir Jagr.
I dig, Mike. I really do. And like you said, it is. One part of me, it is because he's a Penguin. Part of me is because it's one of my favorite hockey players ever. And I think one of the biggest surprises, Mike, one of the biggest things about this whole fascinating story to me is I remember sitting there with my dad watching it and them making the point talking about Jaromir Jagr being this 18-year-old in the NHL, doing all these things, helping this team win a Stanley Cup. He's 51.
Right.
Mike, dude. That's the part that really
that's what gets me too. I know.
Because
I remember him coming over because that's like I vaguely remember watching a little bit before. I think that the year before Jagr came when the Penguins lost just
Mhm.
out of the first round of the playoffs, or like before we just missed the playoffs or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So remember we got him, this 18-year-old rookie. Like, who is this guy? He's young.
His
He's
name
18.
spells
He's
out
only
Mario Jr.
junior. He's only a couple years older than me because we got him he's like 9 years older than me. So I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. Someone like close to my age, and
Right.
he's already doing this. This is exciting. And my God,
It,
now I'm old. I feel old as shit. Here he is at 51 years old, still out there playing, you know, helping his team stay afloat. I love it.
Like he might be he might be the best hockey player ever. If you recall, back when he was 18, just that stick handling he had, he was always going, in and out of players, doing these crazy
Oh
moves,
God.
backhanding it. The guy was always amazing from day one. You could question this or that about the man's character over the years, which, to be honest, I always say I watched it for the game. I love the player and their performances. Anything that they do outside, I try to keep a barrier.
Yeah.
But this guy, Mike, like I said, what can you really say? I really dig it. I think that at the end of the day, if it's gonna be a controversy, if it's always gonna be split, I'm fine with taking Team Yager. Team
I am
Yager.
Team Yager all the way. He's like I said, he's one of my all-time favorite players.
Yeah,
It's obviously Lemieux number one, and then Sid and Yager are right there.
yeah.
I go back like Yager to me, Sid's better player than Yager, but like when I would watch them play, there's just I don't know. I grew up with Yager.
Yager's just a straight
Grew up
beast,
with
man.
Yager and Lemieux, and I like he's Yager. Anyone who hates Yager, I don't like you. Like
Yeah.
if you don't like Beavis and Butthead and you don't like Jaromir Jagr,
Then we hope your head
you're
turns into
done.
Madonna head.
You're done. You're done. It's like a Venn diagram of people who don't like Yager and don't like Beavis and Butthead. It's a complete circle.
Yeah. But that is really cool. Really cool news. When I seen that, I thought good for him. I knew he was getting close. And then I seen he finally did it. So my man.
I love
Mike,
it. I love it.
we're gonna stay on hockey for a couple minutes here before we move on. The Avalanche, they come to town tonight for the Penguins' first game back since the break. Penguins are 24-16-9, taking on Colorado, who's 27-18-3. That game's going to be tonight at 7 o'clock downtown. I tell you what, Mike, we got to come out on the right foot, get a win.
Mhm.
This is a tough team. And here's the thing. I mean, they look the record 27-18-3. That looks good. But you know what? We're 24-16-9. We
Yeah.
lost a few games. We start playing bad hockey. It's not too late. It's not too late. A win coming out the gate against a team like this could be a pretty good incentive
Oh yeah.
and help, carry it over going forward.
This should be a good game. My God. The Avalanche, they're the defending Stanley Cup champions, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, because Nathan McKinnon finally won his Stanley Cup. Yeah. So that's gonna be a fun one to watch. My God. Speaking of like someone who's old now, Nathan McKinnon.
Mm,
I remember he's only 27, but I remember when he was drafted,
yes.
first pick, first overall. Like, God, I feel old.
Yeah.
These kids are him and Gensler are making me feel old. Yager's making me feel old. But no, this game should be a good game. If you like hockey, my God, this team, the Avalanche coming into town, they have some damn good players.
Mike,
Nathan
Tristan
McKinnon.
Jarry back? Is he going to be playing tonight? Do you know?
Hold on one
Because
second
I
here.
know when he went out prior to the break, that was his timeline was going to be after the break,
Yeah.
after they came back. I'd like to see him back in net. The Smith is giving me.
Yeah, he practiced. Last time he practiced was Sunday.
That was
He was seen on ice prior to practice on Sunday, but there's been no official word as of yet that I have seen.
okay.
And real quick, this Colorado Avalanche team,
Mm-hmm.
for anyone who likes hockey, let's take a look. Nathan McKinnon, one of the best players in the league. Little old Evan Rodriguez, who
wow.
we let go. 26 points already this year, 11 goals, 15 assists. Oh, he's playing on the line with McKinnon. But then on D, where's my guy at? Cale Makar. This young kid is a beast on defense. I hate him only because he's not a Pittsburgh Penguin. Dude is a damn good player. So
Yeah,
a lot of
watch out
talent,
for these guys.
on the ice tonight.
not a lot going in our favor where we might be able to say, oh, these guys aren't really that good. They don't have a great goaltender. They're not. This is a good team. So, like I
A
said,
very good team.
I would rather face this team out of the gate just to kind of see where we're at. Go from there. One last thing, Mike, did you catch the Ron Hextall comment when asked about the trade deadline? Ron Hextall says, quote, "It's really dangerous to feel like you have to make a deal. We're only going to make a deal if we think someone will fit better in our group than what we have. I'd like to make a deal to make our team better." Everybody is taking their shots at Hextall right now, but you know what? That sounds like a good point. But on the other hand, you're not playing good hockey.
Yeah, this team needs a little shakeup.
Right. Exactly.
It's not making a trade for the sake of making a trade, just making a trade to change things up. You know, one player here or there, someone might be like a good player on the team, but good gel in the locker room. But sometimes you need a little shakeup. Move one guy, like just a pure hockey trade, player for player, swap for swap. A little bit of new energy to the team, and it's a shot to the system going, whoa, hey, anyone can be traded now. We got to step our game up here. We got to, get back to the basics, and it's a wake-up call.
You think they sometimes make a move? You think they pull the trigger? You think Hextall pulls a trigger?
I don't think he's going to pull the trigger. He hasn't shown at all that he's willing to pull the trigger.
Mike, let me make an can I talk briefly about an observation I made?
Yeah.
You are the more hockey mind, so I'm going to turn to you.
Oh, God, that's scary.
In your wisdom. Now, Ron Hextall was a career Flyer. We all know the Flyers stink. They haven't won a cup since the mid-'70s. And then he was in the office in Philadelphia. Is there any evidence that this guy is competent to do the job for a budding organization like the Pittsburgh Penguins, who's won Stanley Cups, and they're pretty popular in the league, and people look at them as one of the better teams. Maybe there's a good little issue on my camera, but maybe, Mike, that this guy is just maybe he's a Flyer. You know what I mean? Maybe he's just not that great at what he does.
I don't. There's nothing since he's come to the Penguins to really show that. Okay, this guy should be the GM of a team that should be contending for a Stanley Cup year in, year out. There's nothing really when he was a Flyer GM as his tenure that, made people go, oh, wow, this guy,
right.
You get him. This is the guy that's going to do moves to get you over the hump and like the criticism of him when he was in the Flyers is the same thing now. He just sits on his hand and does nothing.
That's what I'm saying. This guy is very unimpressive.
Yeah. Like Rutherford, people would complain about him, the way he made trades, gave up first round draft picks, blah, blah, blah. But he realized, okay, I have this core of players. My window is open for years to come. Guess what I'm going to do? Yeah, I'm going to keep kicking that can down the road for the future to win now. He was never afraid to make trades. He didn't wait until the trade deadline. He would start making trades in November and December. A little trade here, a little trade there, pieces of the puzzle. Try to build that roster up. And this guy, all what Hextall has done is spent to the cap to where there is no room, to where we have defensemen sitting in the AHL that should be on the NHL roster, but we can't fit them up because there's no cap space. So what you have to find moves. He has to do something. Just I don't even care if it's a salary dump. Trade someone who has a high salary, get a lower pick, but therefore you can move someone in to this team who might be better than what we have on defense. Do something, anything. I'm begging. It doesn't have to be the right move. Showing it. Just show that you're trying to make the team better. If it doesn't work, guess what? You tried. I'd rather have him make a move and it backfire than not make a move and then, it's going to be the end result. The end result is going to be the same, losing in the first round.
Still alive.
Try something. God.
Yeah, that's one observation that I did make. It seemed like, what pedigree does this guy have? He's never really been involved with anything great, never really been involved with any winning. So that was always kind of a question to me. And so now that it's out there, I get a better idea of what other people think as well. I don't know. I guess let's see what he does, Mike.
Yeah, like I said, maybe I'm at a loss.
Yeah. Another big game.
He's trying to do
another big game today, Mike, in Pittsburgh. if you want to get up to Pittsburgh and watch a game, today is the day, because you either have the Colorado Avalanche coming to play the Penguins, and then you also have, Mike, the 1-11 in conference, 3-20 overall Louisville Cardinals coming to town to play the Pitt Panthers. Mike, Pitt sitting at 9-3 in the conference, 16-7 overall. If Pitt wins tonight, they do move into a first place tie with Clemson. They're sitting at a half game out right now. I believe they're tied in that spot. And if they win tonight, Mike, they do jump up to first place. I think that is a pretty good sign, not only for, yes, you want to be in these good positions. Yes, you want to make the tournament. I think those things are going to happen. I think this is going to be a good sign for the people that are sitting in the national positions, who vote for spots, who comment on teams, who talk about teams, to see that, what, this team is the real deal. They'll be, if they win, they'll be sitting at 10-3 in the conference, 17-7 overall, in first place, tied with Clemson. I mean, you got to start getting a little bit of respect at that point, I would think.
You would think. I hope so. Like I said yesterday, it feels like when it comes to any of these polls, whether it be football or basketball, you have to have like success the year before to get recognized and get those votes.
All right.
Like you said, man, they've knocked off ranked teams.
Yeah.
But I don't know what more they need to do. Maybe the voters are looking at, hey, they're playing like spoiler to these teams. And okay, let's take a look at their other losses, like who they've lost to, like teams they should have won. So are they going to be that consistent?
Right. But like you said,
or is it just like one of those teams, like, oh, they're going to find that ranked team and then knock them off and then fall back when they play someone else?
Like you made a good point yesterday, and I didn't even think of this. I mean, they had that loss that you would, totally say was a loss to Michigan. Besides for that, those other couple games, I mean, they were really close. And even, I don't have them in front of me, but the couple other games that they lost to ranked teams, they were right there within the game. And even if it wasn't a couple point loss, they were very close, and it might have slipped to 7 or 8 points. At the end of the game, it looked a little bit more lopsided than what it was. But you watch any of these games, Mike, this team is as good as anybody. And tell you what, take a look at teams 20 through 25. I promise you, Pitt is better than all 5 of them.
Probably. I wouldn't.
It's like Creighton, and you know what I mean. I bet you Pitt, any money that Pitt would beat Creighton if they played them right now.
Oh, but I guarantee they probably would dominate that game.
That's what I'm saying. So, maybe just maybe they'll get that little bit of attention that they deserve tonight. Hopefully, if they win. And we'll see. But hey, March is right around the corner.
Oh, I can't wait. I love me some March Madness.
Absolutely, man. Me too.
And if you don't like March Madness, I don't like you.
Yeah.
Kind of like Beavis and Butthead.
Just like Beavis and Butthead.
And Jagr. We're learning a lot of things today.
We are. We're learning a lot. We do a lot of learning on this show, people. Mike, LeVar Arrington. We're talking about the area. Of course, mostly from Penn State. He's from here in North Hills in Pittsburgh. Now his boy, Mike, his boy never played a down of high school football. He's a college basketball player. He's dropping college basketball, Mike, to accept a college football scholarship to Delaware.
Ooh,
I would like to see this young man play football. They obviously know something that we don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to go to be like a tight end, because it's normally where Antonio Gates.
Yeah, these big guys.
He never played a down of football in college, and he turned out to be one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history.
Yes, and his old man was no slouch. We've seen him hit a lot of people in our day, of course, in North Hills, at Penn State, and Washington, maybe a couple other teams as his career went on. But if he's anything like his old man, I would certainly like to see that. And if he's making that jump, Mike, I mean, it's like I said, somebody's got to believe in him. And
he has to. Yeah, there's talent back there. There has to be talent there somewhere. They had to have run him through drills and stuff, because. Yeah, wouldn't it surprise me if he's going to end up being a tight end down in Delaware?
Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't it be crazy if he ends up in the NFL?
That'll be wild. And hopefully, like his dad's career. Washington, that organization once again ruined a promising player's career.
I hate that team.
We're going to draft this linebacker who's known for freelancing, doing the things that he needs to do to make a play. Guess what? We're going to make him play a system and. No,
tell me one player that Washington made their career. Washington literally destroys every player's career.
Everyone but Art Monk and God, who was their corner back in the day?
Champ Bailey.
Well, before Champ Bailey, Darryl Green, the guy who ran like the
Oh
fastest
wow.
40. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I
Yeah.
forgot about Green.
Yeah. And you have before that, you have to go back to yeah, that's about it.
Dougie Williams might have been the only positive
Dougie
things that's ever
Williams.
came out of that
Yeah.
out of that franchise. Like this one thing that I've always observed as they had that one Super Bowl
Super Bowl, they had the Hogs.
Yeah.
That was about it. And
Mark Rippon, remember
Mark Rippon, who in that running back, I forget his name, the white guy.
Riggins.
Yeah, I almost said Tim Riggins because I've been watching Friday Night Lights again.
Mike, the people now, this is going on in multiple states now.
Mm-hmm.
Initially in one state, and it was kind of I don't know, but now multiple states, Mike, are they're petitioning to make Super Bowl Monday a holiday, because a lot of people, they get together for parties, they get they hang out, they drink, they eat a lot of food, they probably spend more time there than they want. What do you think about, Mike, a Super Bowl Monday being an observed holiday in the United States? I mean, they make days for everything else. Why not?
We will get Super Bowl Monday off before we get voting day off, before we get election day off, before it becomes a federal holiday. Knowing this country and our priorities, Super Bowl Monday will be the day we get off.
Yeah.
Before election day. So you know what? I don't work Mondays anyway, except a handful out of the year, except 3 maybe out of the year. So it doesn't affect me. So I hope we don't get it.
And you know, the only
because if that's the quintessential American mindset, if it's not going to help me, I don't want anyone else to have it.
Well,
I want
the
Super
thing,
Bowl
Mike. It's only
Tuesday
going to help
off.
people that it doesn't matter. It's going to help people that are like in government jobs. For the majority of America, we're all going to be back to work Monday morning. You know what I mean? People that work the normal jobs, the office jobs,
teachers,
the
retail workers,
jobs,
fast food
jobs.
We're all going to be screwed.
Everybody's going to be back to work Monday. It's just like any other Monday. It's only going to affect.
You all these people who want that day off, then they try and go to the bank.
Yeah, exactly.
It's closed because
get screwed.
They're going
to go to the bank.
Why? You're a bank. I should get this day off and not you. So
you can't mail. You can't send mail. You can't go to the bank. You can't do this. For that reason, I say no holiday. I think if anything, the day itself should be the holiday. I think Super Bowl Sunday should be a holiday, and everybody should just shut the fuck up. And who cares if you don't have to? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The day itself, why not?
Or just watch the game. Don't get all liquored up before, so you don't wake up with the hangover.
Yeah, who wants to do that?
Yeah, I know, right? Here I am trying to find a reasonable approach.
Look at you.
I know, right?
Madden simulation has been incorrect 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls. I don't know if they did it yet. I don't know who it's picking for this Super Bowl, but the Madden simulation has been wrong 3 of the last 4 years, Mike.
I think it did the simulation, and it was Eagles 31, Chiefs 17.
Okay.
I think that's what I saw yesterday.
A lot of people are riding high on these Eagles, man. I tell you what, everybody I talk to, everything I see, everybody I hear, everything I read, a lot of people are counting the Chiefs out, man. People got this Philadelphia team just basically coming and steamrolling, which they've done all season to a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's going to be quite that simple when it comes to the Super Bowl and against the Chiefs, but I think it's going to be a great game, Mike. I think these 2 teams certainly make a really good game for a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, the 49ers receiver Brandon, I'm going to butcher his last name, Oyuk. He said Chiefs all the way. He's like, if I could, I would drain my bank account and put all the money I have on the Chiefs. He said that offense is going to expose the Eagles secondary and the rest of that defense. So there's someone in the league who played against the Eagles is saying, you know what? No, this team is not all they're cracked up to be. But hey, I'm not going to discount his opinion because he plays the game, he played those teams. But for me personally, I still think that Eagles defense, I think it's a better matchup. I think they match up really well against that offense, and I think the Chiefs defense, it's better than people think, but I don't think it's going to be enough to stop that offense. I think both teams are be able to score, but I think if a stop needs to be made, I think the Eagles defense can make that stop.
Right. And the thing you got to remember, I mean, this Eagles team was undefeated clear till what, I don't remember which week it was. And then the quarterback gets hurt. They lose a few games in that period of time. So people, I think you got to remember that they're a very good team. They're, as close to a dominant team as that you have in the NFL this season. And like
they
I
won
said,
their first 8 games.
They won the first 8.
Lost 1, then rattled off another 5 wins. Lost 2, and then we came back with a win.
So yeah, I mean, what is it? 14-3? Was that their record?
14-3.
14-3. I mean, that's nothing to laugh at. I don't know. What was the Chiefs? What was the Chiefs' final record this year?
Pull them up because I can't remember off the top of my head. I know they had a pretty good record. 14-3 as well.
Oh, they were 14-3 as well?
Yeah.
I like
because they started out a poultry, a pedestrian for them 4-2. And that's why.
And you know what really pushed me over the edge with these 40, or not with the 40, the Philadelphia Eagles, was the dominating way they handled San Francisco in the conference championship.
Yeah,
Mike, it was like this team with the number 1 defense in the league and all this star power on offense, and the way that Philadelphia made those guys look mediocre. That's again, I mean, I'm taking the Chiefs in this game, but that right there really solidified it. And then once you put all the pieces together, you start out 8-0. Those teams generally end up in the Super Bowl. I don't know what happened to the Steelers a few years ago, but you always have these teams that start off 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-0. Those teams usually end up in the championship game. A lot of things comes together for this Eagles team, and you know what? They have a feel. There's a feel. It feels like this team could probably go and win this game, but I think it's going to be a good one, Mike. I hope it's a good one. I don't want to see a blowout. I like a good Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my Chiefs, but I will acknowledge I wouldn't be surprised one bit if Philadelphia does win.
To me, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like one of the teams wins anywhere between, I know it's going to be like a wide margin here, like 3 to 10 point margin of victory, like a field goal decides it, or I can see a team being down by 3 and trying to make a play and a pick 6 for a touchdown that makes it look worse than what it was.
Right.
I think it's going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be one of the better Super Bowls we had. Like last year's Super Bowl, I down to the wire. That game was fun to watch between the Rams and the Bengals. And I think this one's going to be another good one. I kind of hope it's kind of like that the Steelers Cardinals Super Bowl.
Oh, that would be great.
Oh my God, that was such a fun one to watch.
I just don't want to see Philadelphia burn their city down,
they greased up all their light poles again, and they still find a way to make it up top.
Did you see that?
You can't I want to hate Philly fans, but my God, when they win, they go all out.
Yeah.
And you know what?
They go West Virginia, man.
I don't hate the Eagles the way I hate the Flyers. So this is like, it's kind of fun to watch, man. It kind of nice to see, Pennsylvania get a win. So if they can get a win for the state of Pennsylvania or for the Commonwealth, I will take that.
I tend to think the same thing. Like, because even when the Phillies are good in baseball, if the 76ers would ever be good in
it's
basketball,
just the Flyers.
Yeah, but yeah. And it's not the team, it's the fans, You don't necessarily hate the team.
I hate the Flyers. Not gonna lie. I hate the Flyers.
I have to really think. I think I have to think hard about this because I kind of agree with you, but in a way, I'm thinking, fuck Philly,
Yeah, it's probably like a nice city and all, but they're the Flyers. I don't like them.
Let's hop on the interstate, Mike. We're gonna head over to Pittsburgh.
All right.
Big news yesterday, of course. Brian Flores is taking the job to be the new Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator. Is that correct? Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what I'm?
Yes, he is now the defensive coordinator.
I'm glad for him. Here's the thing. There's things talk there. As he was meeting with these teams, it was kind of getting to a point where they were saying, well, maybe he just might be back with the Steelers for one more season. I'm happy for him. I'm glad he got a job. I'm glad he's happy. He got a job where he feels and he's going to be able to do some good stuff over there. Minnesota got a good team, improve that defense a little bit more. I don't think they're too far off. Maybe get a couple players, but Good for him. I'm happy for him, Mike. I think anywhere he would have turned out, but you know what? He seems genuinely happy with this decision. So you know what? Good for him. Go
Yeah,
Brian Flores.
I'm happy for him. I was hoping that he would come back this year and get the jump up next year, because that way, if he would left, we would get a compensatory draft pick.
Right, right.
But me being selfish, but I'm happy for him. I think he was one of the candidates for the Arizona Cardinals head coaching job, and like everyone else in the NFL, apparently no one wants to work with Kyler Murray, and he was like, "No, I'd rather go be a defensive coordinator
Yeah.
than be a head coach again." So, well
Let me ask you
deserved
something
again.
weather-wise.
Mhm.
Would you rather go work in Arizona or Minnesota? Because you got two totally different weather. You personally, would you like to work up in the cold in the
Minnesota,
winter or down in the you like Minnesota better?
Minnesota, yeah, because you can add layers when it gets cold.
Yeah.
Or down in Arizona when it's hot, you can't. You can only take so much off.
Nothing really attracts me about Arizona. A lot of people from Pennsylvania, they either move to Florida or Arizona to get
I
away
wouldn't
from the
move to
cold.
either.
And no, I'm not. I definitely not Arizona. It seems too hot. It's
That's
desert.
too hot. That's too hot.
You want to hear something funny about Arizona? I just heard there's this guy, Mike. And speaking of conspiracy theories early in the show,
Mm-hmm.
this guy the other day, he was talking about Arizona, and he was like, if you literally go into Arizona and keep going, it turns into the backside of Africa.
What?
Yeah, I kid you not. This guy is on there telling people that this is the way that the map really is. If you would go into Arizona and continue to go, you would end up in Africa. This is what people were saying. I think that this era, Mike, of TikTok and people like this, it's insane, insane.
That is. I gotta pull up a globe here and take a look at this,
Yes, please
because
do.
my brain. I'm trying to picture it here.
Mm.
Okay, so here's.
And you got to
I'm
remember,
looking at
last week there was
America.
no Australia. Did you hear that one
You
as
keep
well?
going. You keep going. You keep going. Boom. No, you're gonna run right into the. Yeah. So there's India, Asia. What's above the Philippines or something along those lines? I forget. Excuse me. I'm terrible. Typical American. I'm terrible at geography. But yeah, you're gonna run into some islands
Maybe
like
Arizona and Africa is
Malaysia,
connected.
then like Southeast Asia, India.
Sometimes I
Yeah.
just can't get.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
good
If you like remove a bunch of countries,
Mike.
technically he's
I like a
correct.
good conspiracy theory,
Technically he's correct if you move a bunch of countries.
and that's what he's saying. He's saying the
Move a
map
whole
is
move
wrong.
the whole subcontinent of India and Southeast Asia
And
north.
I like a
Boom, you run
good
right into Africa.
I like a good conspiracy theory, but these are just getting a little out of hand. The other one last week was there's actually no Australia. The continent of Australia doesn't really exist.
I hate people.
I mean, you could always go and ask people from Australia. You know what I mean? Like, as crazy as these claims are, you could simply debunk them very easily.
Well, who are you going to believe? Some guy on the internet or people who actually live there? Huh?
Yeah, right.
So they're just paid actors down there in
And that's
Australia.
a yes. It's unbelievable where we're at. But there you go. Brian Flores, we would also join you in Minnesota if we were coaches as well. Arizona is definitely out of the question for me. Also, Mike, in the Pittsburgh Steelers segment today, Mason Rudolph says he's completely done with Pittsburgh. That's nice because we've been completely done with you for about 5 years now. So the feeling is mutual.
Mason, I'm going to miss you.
There you go. Your fan is going to miss you. Mason Rudolph is completely done with Pittsburgh.
I'm okay with that. I'll miss him. Like, yeah, I'm gonna miss Mason.
I like the memes where his head's crushed in from the helmet, or where half his head is flat from when Garrett hit him with the helmet.
That's terrible.
I'll miss them.
That poor guy. he was violently assaulted, and the entire fan base just makes fun of him for it.
He really was too.
If that was Ben or Kenny, people would have marched to Cleveland and burned it down like they were General Sherman.
Also, Mike, do you think? All right, here was a debate I seen yesterday on the internet. Devin Bush, the biggest Steeler first round draft bust by the Steelers. Other people were saying names like Jarvis Jones,
Jarvis
Other people are
Jones,
saying names like what's the cornerback?
Artie Burns.
Artie Burns. Where do you think Devin Bush falls in
Um,
that? I mean, you know
well,
that
Devin Bush, he had what 2 productive years before he was hurt. Artie Burns had a productive rookie year. Then he had like a bunch of off the field stuff, having to step up and raise his brothers and sisters as they were his kids because their parents died. So it's hard for me to say they were a bust. Jarvis Jones, he was a bust. Huey Richardson. Does anyone forget Huey Richardson? Gabe Rivera? We took over Dan
yeah,
Marino.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Devin Bush does not rank that high on the list of busts that the
You know
Steelers have
what?
had.
I didn't really mind Bush till the last couple years.
Yeah, last year and this year, man, it was
I mean, he was always up there. I mean, he had his tackles, and like you said, when he wasn't hurt, he wasn't the best linebacker. He wasn't the guy that we were expecting to get. And you know what? I thought that from day one when he came in, and I seen his size, and he didn't really have much range, wingspan, and it was hard for him in open field tackles because of that. I kind of knew he wasn't going to be that linebacker that we were hoping he was going to be because you come off of Ryan Shazier. This guy sideline to sideline, he's all over the place. He's a maniac out there. And then you're kind of hoping for something similar with Devin Bush. You didn't get something similar with Devin Bush.
Yeah.
Was he this huge draft bust? No, I thought he was okay. But you know what? I'm okay with moving on from him as well.
Yeah.
If we could bring somebody else in to play the position better, I'm fine with that. But I wasn't overly upset with Devin Bush's career.
No, like Huey Richardson bust, Troy Edwards bust. Those are bust. Like we got a year and a half productivity out of him before he got hurt. Right. He was you look at Devin Bush before the injury and after injury, that injury messed his game up. It did. He just can't get over it. So like anytime there's an injury involved that changes the way someone plays or cuts their career short, you can't call them a bust.
Right.
If they don't live up to their playing potential, they're a bust. Jarvis Jones, bust. Gabe Rivera, bust. Troy Edwards, bust. Artie Burns, I hesitate to call him a bust just because what would have his career have been if he didn't have to take on this huge responsibility outside of the NFL?
Yeah,
because he showed potential, and people say, hey, they point to him as like, this is why Steelers shouldn't draft cornerbacks in the first round. They can't develop them. So is it his fault? Is it the team's fault? It's a combination. So it's easy to label him a bust, but you have to put all these factors in place. But yes.
Yeah, no, I thought it was an interesting debate. Yeah. I think that, there's no doubt he's going to be moving on. I'm fine with that. If you could bring somebody over from the free agency pool that could fit that position, that'd be great. Yeah. If
otherwise we're stuck with Spillane as our starting middle linebacker.
Yeah.
I
mean, if we played Lamar Jackson 17 games next year, I mean, he would probably be an all-pro.
And Travis Henry, we'd be great.
Derrick Henry,
excuse me.
I think that he would be an all-pro. However, that's not going to be the case. I like Spillane where he's at. I like him as a backup. I think he's a nice, solid backup.
Yes,
he overachieves at times, and that's my limit with him. Mike, also the here's another thing. I talking about freeing up players, freeing up money, maybe making things happen in the free agency. If we would release Mitch, Gunner, William Jackson III, Witherspoon, and Miles Jack. Now, these aren't players by my picking. I actually like a couple of these players. I don't want them to go anywhere. But if you would free up those 5 players, Mike, that would have us saving up to about $40 million.
Yes.
Any of those guys, who would you want to keep out of there, Mike? I like Miles Jack as long as we could get another linebacker who's effective.
Yeah, I would like to keep Miles Jack.
I like Witherspoon, who was hurt all year.
Witherspoon was hurt, but he got benched before he got hurt. So I think we can get rid of Witherspoon and find a replaceable corner. Use some of that money to try and keep Cam Sutton. Gunner's gone. Gunner's gone. We got players to replace him in Sams and Calvin Austin.
William Jackson III.
Okay. So we traded for him. He didn't play, so we get that draft pick back. So he's a free player with us.
Yeah.
If we can restructure his contract, free up space that way, and keep him here to give him a chance to play, see what we got, I'm okay with that. But I'm also okay with cutting him and letting him go.
Right.
Because
we really don't know where we're missing.
Yeah, we don't know
You
what you're
know,
missing. You tried to make the trade for him. He was hurt, and that's fine.
and Mitch Trubisky would be the fifth player on that list. Mike Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, I know you would get, you're going to save money by getting rid of Trubisky. And I think we talked about this the other day. If you keep him and you keep Kenny, you're not paying that much for the quarterback
Yeah,
position.
right.
It's just your backup's going to be making more than
Right.
him, and it's going to be a talking point. Oh, if you cut him, you save this money. But like, what other quarterback are you going to bring in?
You're right. Right.
This he knows the offense. He's comfortable running the offense. The offense moves when he's in there. So I have no problem keeping Mitch Trubisky.
I agree. I think where we're at right now, and also
But
the thing is, right now, Mitch, he just fought for that position. Nobody else out there is going to learn this offense as a backup.
Yeah.
Like Mitch Trubisky knows this offense. If Kenny goes down, the only person that's able to step in and play the position the way that we're going to need him to be played would be Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, because what are you going to get? You're going to get someone like Case Keenum or some other old like an Andy Dalton. If Andy Dalton goes down, it's going to be a completely different offense.
Oh, I know.
That's one of the names I saw benches about in that article. I think you're referencing.
Yeah.
So like, no, I'm comfortable. You're paying $14 million between two quarterbacks.
Yeah, no,
Okay. And if you think you have your franchise quarterback in Kenny Pickett, okay, you're paying him $3 million. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Absolutely.
And then if you're paying your backup more, that's fine. Because the average value between the two of them is less than everyone.
So what you're telling me, Mike, is you would keep Mitch.
I'd keep Mitch.
Get rid of Gunner.
Get rid of Gunner.
Get rid of Witherspoon.
Yep.
Keep Miles Jack.
Yeah, if we can restructure him.
And then for William Jackson III, what was your final?
God, but kind of like him and Miles Jack, if you can restructure them, keep them. If not, get rid of them. See who's out there, and go over again.
The cornerback position, obviously, Mike, is an area of concern for us.
Mm-hmm.
But did you know this about our secondary? We had 5 players, Mike, last year that had multiple interceptions. Only one team had more than us. The Patriots had 6 different players who had multiple interceptions, and us tied with the Rams in second place, where we had five different players with multiple interceptions. Minka, Levi, Sutton, Watt, and Kazee, they all had 2 interceptions apiece, Mike. One question. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's like a lot of those guys, man. I'd like to, keep Sutton and keep Kazee, but I don't know if we're able to keep both of them,
right? Or
even one of them.
And I misspoke the other week when we were talking about Jalen Ramsey. Think about him. I was pulling up his older numbers. I mistaken something when I was pulling it up. So Jalen Ramsey, for some reason, is still being tied in with the Steelers a lot. Mike, I don't know if you're catching this. Now, my thing about Jalen Ramsey, don't you think that he's a little too expensive for us, or can we hack those last couple of years of his contract?
Oh, like because
he's still got 2 years.
He just signed that extension, right?
I don't see. That's what I thought too. And I went back and looked yesterday, and he's still on that 5-year. So he's in the last 2 years. And I thought there was an extension signed, which I brought up a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I keep seeing his name tied with the Steelers. Is there a chance Jalen comes here? Is Jalen Ramsey going to be a Steeler? And I thought, no, he's not. And I went and looked, and I think that it's totally doable. I mean, he's going to be really expensive.
But you'd have to trade for him and stuff. And I don't want to give up draft capital for up like for his age. No, no. He's someone like, if it was like a Joe Hayden type situation was cut and get him on the cheap.
Right.
I am right there. But no, he's going to cost too much in draft capital and just too much into the salary cap.
He makes a lot of money. Like I said, the last 2 years on his deal would put it at about $20 million a year, I think, or something similar plus other. I can't imagine the Pittsburgh Steelers bringing in Jalen Ramsey. I just can't. I can't.
Me either.
It's a very un-Steeler move, and it's a very unwise move, I think.
Unwise move, un-Steeler move. I can't wait to see what Omar Khan does in his first offseason, able to, because we had all this money last year and to use in free agency, and we used a lot of that money to extend a lot of people on this team where we could have franchised people and done some other type of maneuvering, but I just can't wait to see what Omar Khan does, because this guy is the salary cap guru, and now he's also the GM. So look for people's contracts to be renegotiated. He's going to find ways to free up money, and yeah, it's going to be a fun off season to
That'd
watch
be such a
Omar
cool
Khan.
job. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
would be. It's you know.
Oh,
But yes, I'm very, very, very. I agree with you 100%. Like I can't wait. I can't wait to see what Omar Khan can do. A lot of anticipation with him. Hopefully he could, bring it together, Mike. We just got it's got to come together. We're not too far off, man. Let's slide over head first to the diamond briefly.
yes.
Jimon Choi
Yes.
expresses frustration at the Pirates because the Pirates, Mike, they don't want him to go play in the World Baseball Classic, I guess it is. And they don't want him to go participate. He's pissed. I think the Pirates are right, but on the other hand, here's the Pirates already pissing this guy off. It doesn't usually take them long to start pissing people off.
No, it does not. And I agree. I hate to say it, but I do agree with the Pirates. You're on their team now.
Yeah.
They don't want you to go there. They traded for you. They're expecting you to be their first base, split time at first base and DH. They want you on the major league roster. If you go to this classic and you get hurt, you're not available to the team. And I understand where he's coming from too. He wants to represent his country, in this tournament, and that's something he's always wanted to do. But at the same time, man, the Pittsburgh Pirates are paying your contract, not South Korea.
It's all about the money, not country, son.
Yep, you got it. Yep.
I hate to be in that position.
I would feel bad for him too, because he was traded here. It's not like he signed as a free agent. So
I would not like to be in that position. Obviously, you do want to represent your country, your flag, things like that. This gentleman in South Korea would like to do the same, but the Pirates are totally against it. And and like Mike said, I don't disagree with him. What if this guy blows a knee? He's no good for anybody for the next 3 to 5 years. Career may be over. So you got to do what's best business wise because you are in the business of baseball. One last thing, Mike. We like to talk about obviously a lot of the local talent. A lot of time we talk about football, basketball, hockey. The young man, this pitcher, Jake Pilarski, Mike from Fox Chapel, made his way to the Dodgers the hard way. He worked his way up, went up through the system, and that's just another name because I like to throw out these young guys' names and people's names that do make it from the area because, that's kind of what we do on this show. So Mr. Jake Pilarski, Mike, there's a name that you keep an eye out for in the future. Pitcher, Dodgers from Fox Chapel.
Always like the local guys.
Absolutely.
How much longer until we start hearing people like we got to trade for him just because he's from Fox Chapel? Like I hope he has a great career, but even if he doesn't, you
remember what Neil Walker did?
We got to bring him in.
Yeah. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
Website is twodumbyinsers.com. Head on over there, and my God, here's what you will see. This video, boom, right there with the link to YouTube to watch. We'll also have links to Spotify to where you can catch this episode and every past episode if you just want to listen to us. We have links to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter's, email addresses on there, and the merchandise stores, all at twodumbyinsers.com.
There you go. Everybody go check that out, www.twodumbyinsers.com. We are on live every day during the week, Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And as Mike stated in his speech, this episode that we do today goes to Spotify. So if you just want to listen to the show or just have it on at work in the background, you can go over to Spotify at 8 o'clock this evening to catch this show. And we do the same thing every day. Mike, we got time for one trivia question of the day. You ready to knock it out?
I am ready to go.
Now that this is Tuesday, the Tuesday before the Super Bowl, we are down to our last 4 days of Super Bowl trivia. We've been doing this for 2 weeks, ever since the championship games. And today's going to be no different. Are you ready for today's trivia question, Mike? And I'm going to give you multiple choice. All right.
I'm ready.
All right. How many career interceptions does Deion Sanders have in the Super Bowl? Does he have 0? Does he have 1? Does he have 2? Or does he have 3? One more time. How many career interceptions does Deion Sanders have in the Super Bowl? 0, 1, 2, or 3? And go.
Damn. Like,
Think it out. He played.
I kind of want to go to like 0 because you think someone who has a decent amount of interceptions in his career, you would think
I remember he played
he
in a
would have a lot,
handful.
but sometimes 0 would be like, oh wow, that's a shocker. But I'm gonna.
He was with San Francisco in the Super Bowl. They won against the Chargers.
0, 1, 2, and 3 were my choices.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with 2.
He was in the Super Bowl with the Cowboys against the Steelers, and I think we could remember if not if he had any interceptions that game.
Yeah, I can't remember the games, but I'm gonna go with he had at least 2 in his career.
2 in his career. Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
All right, let me go ahead and lock you in. All right, one more time for the record. How many career interceptions does Deion Sanders have in the Super Bowl? Was it 0, 1, 2, 3? I believe he played in the 2 Super Bowls, if I'm not mistaken. The answer Mike said was 2. Mike, you were right the first time. You should have went with your initial thought. It was 0. Deion Sanders, one of the best corners of all time, had 0 interceptions in his Super Bowl appearances. I wouldn't have guessed that, to be honest. I would have guessed at least something. I would have said 1, maybe.
Yeah,
something. I wouldn't have said 0. I wouldn't have said 0. And like I said, I don't remember. I do know that he did have an interception in the Pittsburgh 2017 loss to Dallas. But that the San Francisco game would be the one that got me. The dominant performance over San Diego, the team that beat us 3 more yards. It wasn't a really good team. I would have said 1. I would have said that he had 1 in that game, but I would have been wrong.
I see. I just thought somewhere along the line, along the way, he would have picked someone off.
Right. Because he was dominant, man. But there you have it, everybody. Deion Sanders, keep that in your memory bank in case anybody ever brings it up anywhere. Maybe someday you'll be walking down the street and one of these TikTok guys will say, hey, let me ask you a question. If you know it, I'll give you $100. And if that's it, then
heck yeah, I got this in the bag,
got
baby.
It in the bag. 0 interceptions. There you go. Mike, do you have anything before we take off for today, man?
What do I got? I got nothing today. I just want to thank everyone for. Oh wait, I do have one more thing. Have one thing. Over on our YouTube page, all of our short videos that we have made and will make in the future are gonna have their own separate page, their own channel. It's gonna be called Two Dumb Yinzers Shorts. 2 Dumb Yinzers Shorts, and that's where our short videos will be hosted now.
And that's where you'll see pictures of where we hang our undershorts.
So yeah. So head on over there. Be sure to like and subscribe here, like and subscribe over there for everything 2 Dumb Yinzers.
There you have it. Thank you, Mike. It was perfect for Ryan, Mike, the 2 Dumb Yinzers. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow.